Ciao, I'm Chris. Welcome to a new episode of OCT Geeks.
And I'm Jack. Hi guys, welcome.
What's going on, Jack?
Well, it's fine here, same old story. Every day is quite the same. What about you? How are things doing there?
Yes, the dog days of summer.
More than 30 degrees, very hot temperature. In the last 2 days has been quite blurry, a lot of clouds and really wet temperature. So not the best to go out and to do stuff because I felt very tired.
It's pretty much the same here. Let us know what's the weather like in your part of the world. It will be interesting to hear different feedbacks.
I hope it's better than here, guys.
So today's topic is Season 2 of Ted Lasso.
You remember, guys, when we discussed about the first episode of the first series? Right now we decided to go on further explanation about how we were hyped about coming out of the first episode of the second series.
For those of you who might not be familiar with this show, Ted Lasso is an Apple original. Apple this time decided to release one episode each week. So right now when we are recording this, it's currently available only the first episode. This Friday the second one will be available as well. So it was quite like the old traditional television. You were able to watch the episode of your favorite shows basically once a week.
Once a week and on a scheduled day, so could easily become a routine.
If you are a fan of Ted Lasso as well, like us, let us know if you are interested in hearing about this show on a weekly basis. So we could dedicate a small segment of our episode to this series.
Yeah, Chris, I think that in Italy, Ted Lasso had a great impact and part of the public acclaim. Everywhere I go, I find friends and people talking positively about Ted Lasso for his entertainment and it's always saying how fun it is and how it's also profound. So I think Apple Plus has found a really great product.
We did a while back an episode or even twice about how to find your way in this streaming services jungle. So I would recommend you to check out our previous episodes. Basically, the advantage of Apple Plus is that the price is quite lower compared to other services. At least here in Italy is less than €5 per month.
I think that Ted Lasso right now it's like the diamond product of the service. Not the only one.
Not the only one. For that you should stay tuned on OCD Geeks for the upcoming episode about another interesting video available on Apple Plus. For now I wouldn't spoil, so you will need to check it out.
Yeah, and I don't want to spoil anything also about this first episode of the second season of Ted Lasso. Let's dive a little bit deeper into details. I'll start asking you if you liked the episode, Chris, and what do you think are the best parts, if there were some jokes that made you laugh.
Yes, quite a lot. So I think that this episode started the second season really strong. I was able to find again all the familiar characters from season 1, as well as a new character, the mental coach.
Yes, I think that the character of the psychologist opened the way to an important turning point for the season. In some kind of a way, it helps all the characters to develop themselves and move on. You see also Ted Lasso, which is quite, it's not very confident about the results of the psychological treatment for the players and seeing the reaction of the other players coming out of the room.
There is some kind of mystery. You hear all these players basically making a radical shift in their mentality and in their mental health energies, but you really don't know what the coach is doing there. So that's quite a secret.
Yes, and this coach speaks a lot of languages because every player of every nationality enters the room and the therapist starts speaking in the native language. I think this psychologist is a genius.
We can contact Ted Lasso in order to get in touch. Besides that, the jokes are really funny in this season as well. If you watch the episode, you already know how it all started by the famous, by now, penalty kick that involved the Brazilian soccer player. Let's not go into further details in order not to spoil. What I think is really charming is basically the character of Ted Lasso, because as we said in our previous episode, Ted Lasso is the kindness made person. He's super cheerful and positive. Basically, by the second season, pretty much everyone likes him. This kind of person that I'm sure everyone would like to have in their lives as a friend.
Yes, and I think that he brought with himself part of his American sense of irony in some way was contagious with all these English people. He pushed the others to change themselves.
I believe that Ted Lasso is a show for all family members. The only exception that I would like you to be aware is that maybe if you have really, young kids, from time to time you can hear random bad words. So be careful about that. But, beside this aspect, I would say that everyone can enjoy.
Apart from this character, the psychologist and the vision that a lot of people still have toward psychology, maybe there are people who are more unsure about it. I think that is an important point of the plot that is worth discussing it. I also appreciated the focusing on the career, for example, of a player who's already retired. There's a period of time when he doesn't know what he will do next. So should he go to be an opinionist? Should he become a coach? So it's really unsure what a retired player should do. I think this show highlights pretty well the crisis of a retired player.
He has a new role as elementary school football coach. He's quite strict towards the players, the young girls.
Too strict toward the youngest players.
It seems he's doing a really good job there.
I'm pretty curious to know how it develops his character.
The difference between me and Jack is that I watched season 1 while Jack watched some episodes without watching all of them, but I'm pretty confident that even without the complete knowledge of season 1, you were pretty much able to go up to speed while watching season 2 episode 1. Without particular problems. Is it right, Jack?
Without any problems. I could have watched every episode in different times without noticing. If you're not into much the less serialized shows, I would recommend Ted Lasso, because you can watch an episode today and another episode next couple of weeks and you wouldn't miss anything. These episodes are really great and entertaining.
Nowadays, most of the shows are basically related to some kind of crime, or they are really dark. So I'm pretty sure there is need to a very cheerful and positive TV show like this one.
Yes, it's a completely different TV show compared to the old ones. Of course, I'm talking about Lost, who was, not an episode of Lost meant losing completely the plot and the story and the characters. Not even, for example, compared with Twin Peaks, which was also very gripping and you couldn't miss an episode without losing the sense of the story itself. At last, it's very serialized, so it doesn't give you this sense of uneasiness that you're missing something.
That's true, but at the same time, if you are willing to watch all the episodes starting from season 1, you will be able to notice the transformation of personality and the character development. All of them, in some ways, are influenced by the cheerful personality of Ted Lasso.
Yes, it's true. I agree with it.
If you are interested in hearing more about Ted Lasso, I would recommend you again to check out our previous episode about it. You can easily find on our channel, both on the podcast as well as YouTube channel. And one last thing before wrapping up, I would like to point out that this show plays a lot between the differences from the American traditions and American English, as well as the British one. So it's quite fun just to notice all these jokes. Both me and Jack saw this in the dubbed Italian edition. Even in the Italian one, it was quite fun to spot all the differences. I'm sure if you live in the US or England, you will be able to fully appreciate all the cultural references and jokes.
Yes, there are also many references to pop culture. Do you notice how many times that Lasso mentions a song or a group that maybe many of the other people don't know anything about, so they are shocked most of the times when Ted Lasso brings out some names.
I really like the line where Ted Lasso said, "Wow, it feels like to be abroad," but actually he is abroad from his perspective, so it was quite fun for me.
So guys, let us know what you think about it. If you see it, I think we can head up toward the end of our discussion, right, Chris?
Let us know if you are interested in, transforming the Ted Lasso chat in something more on a weekly basis, so we can dedicate a few minutes each week in order to chat about the latest episode. So let us know your opinion in the section comments down below, or write to us directly on our Instagram pages, chris.ocdgeeks as well as jack.ocdgeeks.
Don't forget to check out our site www.ocdgeeks.me
as well as our Discord server OCD Geeks. For now, let them talk our freaks.
We stay tuned on OCD Geeks.